This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Why are arch foes Deadpool and Wolverine teaming together? If the news coming out from Marvel is indeed true, then in Deadpool 3, Wolverine and Deadpool will join forces to overcome their common enemy when the movie releases in July. The interesting thing is the Ryan Reynolds story of Wade Wilson in the MCU is actually the next part of the Deadpool franchise. In 2022, Reynolds confirmed the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is Deadpool 3. Deadpool and Wolverine, which will carry on the story of Wade Wilson in the MCU, is the next installment in the Deadpool franchise. Ryan Reynolds was even more determined to play Deadpool fairly on the big screen after his underwhelming performance in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Deadpool 2 made the character a sought-after commodity, and Deadpool 1 demonstrated the character's appeal. Now, Deadpool will make his third appearance in the MCU, bringing Wolverine and Deadpool together for the first time when Hugh Jackman joins the cast of Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine is one of the most anticipated MCU films just based on that information alone. In light of Deadpool and Wolverine's journey between universes, from Fox's X-Men franchise timeline to several locations previously visited by MCU films and television series, they're now positioned to play a significant role in the MCU's multiverse saga. What are your expectations for X-Men's involvement in Deadpool 3? With the debut of Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024 rapidly approaching, more details about the MCU film are coming to light. The first trailer for Deadpool's MCU debut finally revealed the film's name, Deadpool and Wolverine. Wolverine's inclusion in the title seemed certain after several updates and announcements from Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, along with set footage showing the Marvel anti-heroes fighting. Therefore, with the publication of the first teaser, the official title of Deadpool and Wolverine was confirmed with the unveiling of the film's logo. The current release date for Deadpool and Wolverine is July 26, 2024, which is significantly earlier than the previously slated release date. At first, Ryan Reynolds stated that the film would be released in September 2024, but later on, this was later repositioned with other MCU Phase 5 and 6 projects. Why are dates changed continuously for Deadpool 3? After Sean Levy was added to Deadpool and Wolverine as director, he disclosed that the project's production wouldn't start until 2023 at the latest because of his other obligations. The SAG-AFTRA strikes further postponed the release of the film. Nevertheless, Ryan Reynolds was still able to declare in 2022 that Wolverine and Deadpool would be prepared in time to be a part of the MCU Phase 5. According to the MCU's current schedule, the Deadpool 3-quel is slated to arrive 8 months after the Marvel and 7 months before Captain America: Brave New World. This means that Deadpool and Wolverine will be the only MCU film released in 2024, taking place right in the middle of Phase 5's film releases. This is in line with Marvel Studios' current strategy to spread out MCU releases and lower the franchise's annual production output. Naturally, anyone knows that Ryan Reynolds is reprising his role as Wade Wilson in Deadpool and Wolverine, his fourth film overall. However, there are a lot of questions about Deadpool 3's cast of characters and whether any new characters are joining in. What do you think though? Deadpool was time traveling in Deadpool 2's post-credits scene when viewers last saw him, possibly setting up his debut appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hugh Jackman's comeback as Wolverine is perhaps the biggest cast announcement for Deadpool and Wolverine. Despite cries for Jackman's comeback, Logan, which was released in 2017, was hailed as the climax of its Wolverine saga and was largely regarded as a fulfilling one. But Hugh Jackman will play Wolverine once more, Ryan Reynolds said on social media in September 2022 with a humorous video. Nevertheless, director Sean Levy has other things he needs to focus on, like creating something deserving of the star power Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are giving it. Director Sean Levy of Deadpool 3 stated in an exclusive interview with Screen Rant during CinemaCon 2024 that he felt privileged to be working on the Deadpool and Wolverine story every day because it features two very famous actors in legendary roles. Although it's the third Deadpool film, This one isn't Deadpool 3. It's something distinct, very Wolverine and Deadpool. Furthermore, it makes no attempt to mimic anything from the first two films. The first teaser for Deadpool and Wolverine shows that Paradox will coerce Deadpool into joining the TVA and lead him. This is reminiscent of how Mobius kidnapped Loki and converted him into a TVA operative in the first season of Loki. Will the worlds of Deadpool and Wolverine collide in Deadpool 3? Deadpool appears destined to find himself in the void, where he will probably cross paths with, battle, and eventually become friends with a Wolverine clone. Deadpool and Wolverine's arrival in the MCU could lead to multiverse mayhem, and other notable Marvel characters from both MCU and non-MCU Marvel films and television series might make brief cameos. The first official synopsis for Deadpool and Wolverine was issued on January 29, 2024. The reckless hero Deadpool will alter the history of the MCU with Wolverine is all that's written on it. Thus, the idea of the multiverse opens the door to the potential of the X gene being retconned into the past of the MCU, as well as the introduction of well-known mutant characters. Through the multiverse, Deadpool and Wolverine formally adds Deadpool's first two films to the canon of the MCU. There were other MCU mentions in Deadpool and Deadpool 2, including a helicarrier-esque vehicle that served as the setting for Deadpool's last battle. Are more characters from the MCU part of Deadpool 3? Nonetheless, a number of mutants and well-known X-Men characters were also included in the previous two Deadpool films. For example, the cast of X-Men Dark Phoenix made an appearance in Deadpool 2. Wade Wilson will have access to a plethora of MCU events and characters thanks to Deadpool and Wolverine. However, the MCU debuted mutants in Ms. Marvel and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which featured a Patrick Stewart version of Charles Xavier. Deadpool's popularity is evident in the fact that he seems to be making his MCU debut alongside Hugh Jackman's Wolverine rather than before characters like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Magneto, or other highly well-known mutants. Phases 4 and 5 have set a strong foundation for the X-Men's eventual MCU appearance. As you may have known, Disney and Marvel are selecting a new director for both Deadpool and Wolverine, carrying on a Deadpool franchise tradition. Who is the new director, and how can they make Deadpool 3 better than the other two parts? Deadpool 2 was directed by David Leitch, replacing Tim Miller as the director. Following a string of successes with Free Guy and The Atom Project, Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy continued their partnership with Deadpool and Wolverine. The script for Deadpool and Wolverine is said to have been started by Bob's Burgers writers Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux-Logolin in October 2020. Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, the authors of Deadpool and Deadpool 2, came in early 2022 to take over writing responsibilities. Since then, they have promised fans that Deadpool will not be Disney-fied and will instead maintain the same tone and sense of humor as the first two films. It appears that Marvel Studios has unveiled Deadpool and Wolverine's main antagonist. The antagonist will be the infamous Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corrin. Nova is an obvious choice to be the film's primary antagonist because of her animosity towards the X-Men. Who is Cassandra Nova? There's a solid reason why Cassandra Nova and Wolverine go together like clockwork. The character was created by Grant Morrison and Frank Quittle and debuted in New X-Men number 114. She's quite similar to Charles Xavier, and there's a good reason for that. As siblings, that is. As Xavier's Mumadry, Nova is the psychic antithesis of him. Cassandra survived the murder that Xavier inflicted on her when they were still in the womb. Cassandra has a lengthy career as an X-Men villain due to her deep-seated resentment for Xavier. Over that time, Nova has wiped out Genosha, the mutant stronghold, and slaughtered millions of mutants. Despite being a mutant in theory, she despises mutants because of her association with Xavier. Given that the only Marvel Studios films in 2024 will be Deadpool and Wolverine, Cassandra is most likely going to be the primary antagonist for the company. Being a Marvel Cinematic fan, you must be worried that Deadpool 3 has got an R certificate. Being a fan yourself, do you see Deadpool 3's R rating as misleading? If you notice, the tone of the upcoming movie is similar to the earlier ones in the franchise. Deadpool and Wolverine will be rated R just as the first two films were. Disney has publicly confirmed this on several occasions, making Deadpool and Wolverine the first R-rated film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Although an excellent Deadpool film might still be produced with a PG-13 rating, Marvel Studios' decision to go with an R-rated MCU Deadpool and Wolverine picture is not shocking. Disney would make a huge mistake by trying to tone down the explicit elements that have become synonymous with the series and its fans. Additionally, it enables Marvel Studios to use the film as a test film, which may lead to other R-rated films down the road. Do you think more characters from the MCU will appear in the upcoming Deadpool movies? Do share your views in the comments down below. For more interesting stories and updates, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon for notifications. Bye for now.